Now, according to Al Jazeera, Bola Tinubu, a political godfather, famed for his strategic deftness and clout, has won a tight race to succeed Muhammadu rather, Buhari as the next president of Nigeria. Now, Tinubu never hid his ambition to be president of Nigeria, as the 70-year-old fulfilled his lifelong goal by winning the presidency of Africa's most populous nation with 8.8 million votes, according to the final result sheet. Now, despite lingering questions about his health and past corruption allegations, and the two-time Lagos State governor will succeed President Buhari, a former army general, as he brags of helping him put him into power, right? He was bragging that he was the one that put our president into power. So now, while the elections are a small part of what it means to be a democracy, elections provide an opportunity to evaluate governance and strength of democratic values. Now, as citizens, how can we begin to move past the elections and probably maybe focus on governance itself and focus on nation building itself? Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You can also tweet at us at WayShowAfrica1 with the hashtag WayShow. Hello, ladies.
Hello once again.
Hello. It's Uti I want to come to first.
Wow.
I knew she was going to say that.
But both me, I expected it now. We expected
Uti, I'm going to come to you first, whether you like it or not. Uti, I told you, and I'm going to tell you again. But hey, this is actually, for me, I think, how do I even start? I sat down. Uti is laughing. I sat down.
Yep.
After I did 3 a.m. voting, 4 a.m., I mean 5 a.m. counting, I didn't leave polling until 10:30. And with all the drama that happened, I said, ooh, borrow yourself brain. See, the truth is, two things came to my mind. People truly deserve the kind of leaders. Why is Uti laughing?
Is this like a continuous laughter?
Uti, stop laughing. I said two things came to my mind. People truly deserve the leaders that they get. And secondly, people deserve the leaders they get. Secondly, corruption, we just must find a way to work hand in hand with corruption in this country.
Why?
That's no, honestly.
But why?
That's the conclusion that I came to.
Because
as I ham like this.
So we have to?
Did you hear what I said? As I ham like this, I will not go and take Panadol for another headache. Okay, go ahead. What do you think?
So I think it's easy to want to classify corruption as big things, but they're not. They're in the small things that we easily justify. We rationalize it. We say, oh, but you know now, you know, and that's it.
Yeah.
It keeps getting bigger till we lose our moral compass. But when it hits us, and then, or when the big things now happen, we now start, thinking, oh, but this is unacceptable. And then we forget that we enabled it.
That's the word.
We enabled it.
Yeah. Where it favors you, you enable it. You let it happen.
We enabled it.
You let it happen. And that's what we're going to continue to do if we just let it.
Honestly. It starts from traffic lights. It starts from paying tax. Little things. Little things.
But I'm glad. I'm actually glad.
People who are looking at you.
Uti, please.
The truth can be painful.
It is.
I keep saying it.
It is.
When we say that corruption is our problem, let us all be clear and accept the very truth that shall they remove corruption from Nigeria, 99.95% of Nigerians may not be able to live in Nigeria. So, let us be clear that when we talk about what our challenges are and what our problems are, we must first, when Michael Jackson sang Man in the Mirror, he wasn't crazy. We must all accept that we are part of the problem. Now, if we come to the reason why I was giggling, see, now the proponents, the people that were raising the flag, that were shouting, We're going to do it. We're going to vote. I'm going to stand there. Now we cannot take Panadol for somebody else's headache. See, I just, I told you so, feels so satisfying. I can't help myself. I told myself I would have, but I just can't help myself. So the reality of it is, guys, like I keep saying, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And it's not about 2023. It's not about 2027. It's not about whatever election comes after that. It is about the fact that what we are seeking is a new Nigeria. We are looking for good governance. We're looking for accountability. And let's not get distracted by the buzzwords like corruption, right? It's not that it's not a problem, but let's not turn it into the reason why we're doing what we're doing. What we're essentially doing is fighting for our future. We're fighting for the lives of the Nigerians that are coming generations and generations in the future. So today, we have a real question to ask ourselves. What I take away from this is that an awakening is occurring. And when you stir, right, the waters get stirred up. And hopefully, we can keep that stir going and it doesn't just settle and then we all forget the storm that we went through. So it's so important that in the run-up to all of this, we kept putting information out there, and the information was one note. Get your PVC, go out and vote. Get your PVC, go out and vote. We have gotten our PVCs. We have gone out to vote. And again, it's so satisfying to be able to say, I told you so. But that's not what it's about. On a serious note, we now need to come together. First and foremost, you took the story, the Labour Party candidate, Peter Obi, says he's going to fight it in court. But I want people to be able to see that we all have a part to play. One, it's time for people to become politerate, to borrow one of the famous words of our guests. We need to understand, you can't play the game of chess with a grandmaster. And in all your life, you've been playing what they call that draft. And then you sit at the board and you say, because you know what the board looks like, you can play the game. It's time for us to all come out and decide what we want our future to look like. And for me, it's about asking tough questions. I was having a conversation today, like many that I've had in the past. Does the current construct of democracy work for the realities of the country that we live in? Does it work for our realities, where things like tribe, where things like what you look like makes a difference to what you should do, right or wrong? So I know that this is better, but because this is my tribe, whatever reason, all of these things are contextually heavy in our part of the world. So why are we using a cookie cutter system, right? We've gone and we've created an amalgamation of different systems, and now it's not working for us. So this is the time for us in moving on to ask the tough questions, to ask the real questions, to start to query things logically, free from emotion, free from tribalism, whatever you want to call it, free from any bias. And let's try to be logical and say, you know what? All of us collectively, we all agree that we want a different Nigeria. We want a better Nigeria. So what is going to get us to that promised land? Because clearly everything we've done up until now is not working.
It's failed us woefully.
Exactly.
Oh my God. I mean, the phone lines are already buzzing. I think we should this would be a good time to take a break. As I did here like so, I don't have anything to say. I've said all I need to say.
No, so I think what
Utu
said about understanding that it's not a a sprint. It's a marathon. We must
It's
understand.
a long game.
We must understand that there is no quick fix. You know, there is no. Yes, I get all the excitement of the younger generation, or in fact everybody. For 2023, we thought, oh, okay, we're pushing for this solution, and then it's just going to happen with a snap of a finger, and then we get tired. So, like you, everybody's tired already. So it's like a one-shot.
Funny enough, I'm not tired.
I don't think it's. I don't think
I'm
people are
not tired.
tired. I think people are now triggered.
Not so triggered.
Really?
For most people that I have been speaking to, it's a question of okay, I've left this your country for you people.
You know what? You know what I always do. The things that I cannot control, I just let it go.
Yeah.
You understand? I just leave it in the hands of God and I let it go. It's not like I'm tired. There's some things that are within my control.
Okay, yeah.
So, for instance, if you come to me now and you give me a hot slap, my response is within my control. Yeah. Your actions are not within my control.
Sure.
So that's what is happening to me.
Okay.
There are some things that are within my control. I control how I respond to the situation.
Okay.
I will not be triggered. I will not be irrational because somebody decided to slap me in the face.
Sure.
So I have just decided, you know what? Let's watch how things play out. But the phone lines are already buzzing. We'll take a break. We'll open our phone lines immediately. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tuned in, it's our Ladies' Night Out, and we're discussing how can we move past the elections, right? Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You can also tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica1 with the hashtag WayShow. Now, our phone line is now open. The number to call is 07025007749. That's the number to call. All right, ladies. So, as I was saying before I went on a break, honestly speaking, it's not like I'm tired or anything. It's just now I'm just channeling my energy for where it's right. I love what Uti said, because Uti has always been consistent about this. That it's not just enough for you to shout, go and get your PVCs. Now you are seeing that even now we need to start thinking, how do we get ourselves in those kinds of parastatal?
Yes.
Because this guy did not, if you said it was rigged, they didn't come from anywhere to rig it. They used you and I to rig it. We have Stephen from Lokoja, if it was rigged. Stephen, you're live.
Good evening, lady.
Hi, Stephen. Good evening.
Good evening. I had initially not wanted to contribute, but when no one got up this topic, I said, let me just make my little contribution. My own is on the line of advice. People should not get despaired. They should not be despaired. Should not be discouraged of what happened on the 25th of February. Rather, another opportunity is coming. That is my simple advice. We shouldn't situation where one or two political parties will dominate the state House of Assembly or the National Assembly, talking about Senate and the Federal. Now that we are having the governorship election coming up on the 11th, people should go out and vote for credible candidates, irrespective of their parties, so that in the House we should have more political parties. And make sure we hold them accountable and let them give their words.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. Okay, so go ahead.
I'm just really excited that we have a lot of young people now invested and paying attention in politics. Because I know very well that growing up, most of our generation, or even the younger generations, are like, okay, our parents are the ones that, are the ones focusing in politics and, reading the news. We were not really interested. But, for the past 3 years, since, incidents have happened that have made younger people and the younger generation focus now in the election, focus in the rule of law and all of that. You mentioned while we're in the make-up room that is not just about the presidential election or the gubernatorial election. You know, there are other things, there are other, you know, aspects of the rule that we need to focus our attention on. But I'm glad now that everybody's paying attention, and I believe that, like Otis said, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not about the next 4 years or the next 8 years or the next 16 years. It's actually to the mentality that has been created for the past, you know, how many years, is not going to change in 4 years. But the conversation is going, people are paying attention, the world is paying attention. Nigerians that know that they don't have a backup plan to Jagba, they are the ones that say, okay, we have to actually pay attention to this and make sure something happens.
Let me take Pastor Oladipo, I believe from Lagos. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm Pastor Latipo.
Go ahead.
I'm calling from Lagos.
Yes, go ahead.
Can I go ahead now?
Yes, please.
All right, my take is this. How do we go past this election? You see, when we put too much hope on any system and it fails, it will break us down. So I believe the best way we need to move forward now is one of the address that Peter Obi has given. Look, we are going to the court. Even if the court did not overturn this election, what we need to do is this. We've already spoken, though our voice is not heard through this INEC, whatever. But the best way to move on is to re-strategize for the next election.
Thank you so much. Strategize for the next election. I was going to say that a lot of enemies have been made.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
As in, some people have been blocked.
Yep.
Relationship. So how do we mend? You know, Uti, you want to come in there? How do we mend? Start to mend, because you see, I listened to Ayodele Fayose, the former governor of Ekiti State, saying that, see, when you go and you are killing yourself for politicians, you're actually not doing yourself any good, because politicians they don't have permanent enemies. But you see, with us, the citizens, when we carry the thing, we carry them for our head.
Yeah.
And politicians are just looking at people and just, you know, they are smiling, they are drinking, they are laughing together. But I have Mahmoud from Adamawa. Then I want us to answer, how do we move? Because there are a lot of enemies that have been made. Too many things. Mahmoud, you're live. Go ahead.
You in the studios.
Hi,
Hello.
good evening.
Honestly, I must commend you. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Honestly, on the issue of this election, we must move forward. Election has come and gone. We must see how we can unite ourselves as a nation. Because very frankly speaking, this last election, there's some kind of division, trying to divide us as a nation. But please, I'm begging our politicians, those that lost the elections, it's not wrong finding it to the legal way, but let's try to live in peace and harmony. And for those that won the election, they should please try to unify this country, because honestly, we are really divided in this country.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. So I couldn't have said it better than Mohammed. You know, that's what I'm saying. I know, hey, some people, there's enmity.
Now it's just very clear. So,
as in,
you are Yoruba,
the thing, and yes, you are Igbo, you are Yoruba supporting Igbo, you are this, you are,
It was so funny that now people are now making a joke out of it that, oh, you that you are married to an Igbo man, or you that your girlfriend is an Igbo person, what do you want to do about it? So politics is politics. However, Nigeria is one. We have too many tribes to say we want to. Even the Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa that we've even tried to even say that's not even the majority. That's not even the Nigeria. So it's even going to be impossible to divide. So it's better we come together.
Absolutely.
Because
Let me take Austin from Benin, I think. Yeah. Austin, you're live. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Let me start by saying that Nigerians are bad losers. And you will know this during football matches.
Yeah.
even when we have not worked hard, prepared hard for any event, and then we lose, you see Nigerians, they're always very unhappy. Now, talking about presidential election in this country, you must have the national, you must have the spread. You must have the spread. And it is not something, presidential election in this country is not something that you just wake up overnight and you think you will win. It's not as easy as that. For instance, in this country, if you want to be president of this country, you must win, you must have votes from the northwest and the northeast. And for my, obedient people who are not happy that Obi did not win, for Christ's sake, Obi did very well. He did excellently well. If not for anything, the man has demonstrated, or he has shown to the politicians that no, it will not be business as usual. I mean, look at what has happened. Governors, 5 governors who wanted to go to the Senate, they lost their election. It has never happened in this country. It has never happened. And the president even lost his own state. Tinubu lost Lagos.
Austin, how do we move on? Oh, how do we move on?
This election is one of the best elections that we have ever had. Maybe this one and the June 12th election. So please, let us, and I think that a lot of Obi supporters had very high hopes. And now that it has turned out like this, everybody is disappointed. But, there's always another day.
Thank you, Austin. You didn't give us a solution. You're just telling us
we'll spend 4 days, 5 days.
Discussing that.
It's not even, that's the word, marinating.
We are marinating the matter. But Uti, let me come to you. How do we mend fences, Biko? Because the enmity is real.
I think the mending of fences comes first with an acceptance, right? I think that a lot of what has happened is everybody has been so vested in their own candidates, in what they want, right? But for me, I think that the underlying factor is what still brings all of us together. The reason why we were all so vested, the reason why we all took it so personally, was because we wanted a better Nigeria. So no matter what we were fighting about, your candidate, my candidate, we were all so passionate, all for one reason. We wanted a different Nigeria. We wanted a better Nigeria, right? And we believed that whoever we were supporting was the person to give us that. So when you hear those, what do they call it now? Those acceptance speeches and victory speeches, where the winner starts to say, oh, it's time for us to come together, like our caller said, that it's time to unite. That's really what it is. We need to put these elections by their nature are very divisive. So what is happening now is not new. Mm-hmm. It happens everywhere. It's a very divisive system because everybody thinks they're the right candidate or they're supporting the right person. So now everybody needs to come, look, what do we want? What does tomorrow's better Nigeria, what does it look like? How are we going to get there? What are the shared responsibilities that we have? Because it is the same driver that drove a wedge between us. Is that same passion that we need to use to bring us together. So do we use it to drive accountability? Do we use it to change our attitude towards this corruption that we're talking about? There's so much that we can come together as a people to do. Because if you look at the numbers, it's very small. Senators is what, 109 people? House of Rep is 360? One president, how many governors? In all, is it up to 1,000 people? But there's 200 million of us. So let's remember that when we're talking, that the unity, because the divisions for me, what scares me so much is that the lines along which the divisions have occurred is beyond just party. Yeah. The tribe problem that we have in Nigeria, I personally don't know how we're going to surmount it. Because every time it seems like the wedge is being driven deeper and deeper. And the diversity that should be our strength now seems to be like the noose around our necks that's going to choke us.
Let me take a caller from Bielsa. Hi, you're live.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm out to arrive.
You are on to Plus TV Africa.
Dr. PlusTvAfrica. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm calling from Bayelsa.
Yes, you're live.
Thank you very much. I believe this election is an eye-opener to Nigeria for us to learn the right path of democracy. Because I believe we have been wrong after using our taxpayers to conduct elections. This is what they will pay us back. But all I want to say, we leave everything for God to do because it can never be done.
Thank you. Thank you. Someone leave everything to God.
Really?
My brother, I know I couldn't have agreed with you.
Right?
I couldn't have. Yes, I couldn't have disagreed with you rather. But hey, I get what Uti is saying. The goal has always been a better Nigeria, focusing on good governance. So can we do something that Diola was suggesting in the makeup room, where no problem, the people that they have elected into the office is fine, but we must demand that they do their job.
Yeah.
So if we catch that local government chairman that is not working, by the time we sue you like 50 times to court, you go and beg your people. Oga, please.
Let me do my job.
Can you let me do my job? Because these people are not letting me go.
Exactly.
They are demanding that I must fix the road. So I mean, do you get my point?
So
like,
it's even clear. Governors do what governors should do. And if we want the dividends of democracy, we can only get that at local government.
Yes.
Right? You can't sue your governor. You can't sue your president. I mean,
so let's start to fight those people.
From the grassroots.
So while you're planning for your next 4 years or next 15 years,
now
whatever,
and then.
but let us start to, because again, we get so docile. Let me take Bode from Ondo State. You're live. Please turn off the volume of your device. Bode, you're live. Turn off the volume of your device, or we'll cut you off. Good evening. Go ahead. Sorry, if you call, please turn off the volume, because once we start to hear ourselves, there will be a feedback and we can't take your call. Now, do you understand? If we are not docile for the next 4 years, we are active.
Yeah.
So whoever is the Etiosa local government chairman, whoever is the whatever local government chairman, whoever is your local government chairman, everywhere you are, just make sure that you are monitoring them. Whatever it is that they are supposed to be doing, if they're not doing it, just be suing them. Be suing them. Let's keep them busy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Because you live in the house, you live in the area,
that live in our community.
you will pass that road to your office.
So you have decided that you want to put yourself inside government. No problem. But
do the
you
work.
must do the job.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You must do the job. Because I think if we start to become very active, we will not have any problem. But we have Babatunde from Lagos. Babatunde, I think I've said this thing several times. When you call, once your call has been picked, turn down the volume of your television set or whatever it is that you're watching. We can't take your call if there's a feedback. So I mean, let's start to do that, because again, like Uti said, the goal has always been, it's not about who is in power. Sure, the goal is to arrive at good governance. So wherever it is that the thing however we're going to get it from, let us start from somewhere. If they've decided, the INEC chairman has decided that this is the person that he's going with, that has won the election, no problem. All of you that they have elected into power, all of you must be accountable to the people. Then the people must start to demand. So this is not the time where you are quiet. This is not the time that you recoil into your shell for the next 4 years and now come back and start making noise. No. Let's start to demand good governance from day one. Oga, what are you doing? Oga, what is happening? If there's not, the ones that are not under immunity, you sue them. Let's keep them busy. Let them be going to court every day.
Exactly.
Let's start to demand, for good governance, because that's the goal. That's the fight that the young people are fighting for. They want a better Nigeria. They want a new Nigeria. They want a Nigeria that is better governed. They want a Nigeria that would prosper, equality for all, equity for. Do you understand? So if that's what you're asking for, then let us start to fight for it, even whether we are in power or not.
And let us not forget that as we push for that, we must, by our own selves, demand for a higher standard for ourselves. We must, because once we fail to do that, then we would have lost all moral authority to call anybody to order.
That would be
Yola,
scary.
That would be terrible.
That would be scary.
Charles from Port Harcourt. Hi, good evening.
Good evening. How you guys doing?
We did.
We did.
Surviving Nigeria.
Okay, so well, I've been trying to over this election, to be very honest. I've been so down. Most of my friends, most people are around me. I've been so really very disappointed in the election because it really falls us beyond our expectations. Most of us were really very good. I was expecting a lot. We felt like the election would have been really fair and credible. I mean, that would make people at authority to speak up. Because if they do that, bad people have the power to use them, at least they will be able to stop. I think for the first time, I saw people that were really very enthusiastic to vote. People were really very upset to vote. People were really out there to vote. And people got their PVCs and were ready to take that thing. Unfortunately, after the election, they started doing the results that not reflect the truth of what we saw at the polling unit or what we got at the polling unit, which was very disheartening. That's the thing is this. How do we start building confidence in this person now? As you are aware, some people are trying to trust their PVC because they said this Peter, God forbid, I will never see this again. That is destroying their PVC. Because that confidence is very important. Now, going forward, at the next election, I think people will turn out. These are the questions that are very unfortunate that we have in this kind of situation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Charles. I could barely hear what you were saying, but I don't want you to feel downcast or whatever. As we've said, right? I said something yesterday. I actually did a video, but I just did not post it. I was saying to people that, you know how you pray for things? You ask God, for instance, that you want a house. Do you understand? You are not the one that will tell God how the house will get to you. Your job is that you have prayed and you let it go. You cannot now start to tell God that, give me 700 million so I can use to buy the house that I... No, you can't tell God the how. You have asked for what you wanted, right? You cannot tell God how he chooses to give it to you. So we have prayed and we have asked God for a better Nigeria, for a new Nigeria, for good governance, for whatever or whatever. Let's leave the how to God.
Yeah.
If he has allowed whatever it is that has happened to happen, let's leave it for him. Our own is that the end goal, at the end, would we see better governance? Yeah. Michael from Lagos, I think you should be our final caller. You're live.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Go ahead, quickly.
Please, I disagree with you people. Good governance and accountability start from good, effective, and efficient electoral system.
Sure.
People that read themselves into power, there is no way they can be accountable because they know that it is not the people that put them in position. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Valid comment.
Yeah.
Uti, you have a comment.
Okay, so my comment is from our regular fan, Daniel Illo. He says, good evening, my dear brothers and sisters of Ways. How can we move past the election? I am still trying to get over the election results and move forward because it's not easy. My happiness is that there was no protest and violence in the streets, but I support Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi to go to court because justice must take its due course.
Absolutely.
God will help us to recover from this daylight robbery. Stawa, you fell my hand by saying that Ashiwaju is 70 years old. He is over 80 and looks it. Sister Oti said, get your PVC. You will end up getting your PVC, and at the end, what will happen? Well, Daniel, you're buttressing my points. I was saying that the narrative was go and get your PVC, go and get your PVC, but here we are. Thank you.
I know for your hand. Uncle, now wait till they write for Wikipedia, we go collect. You want me to make DSS call carry me? If they say he's 70, he's 70. I go talk. Yes, I cannot come and argue his age. I was not there when he was born. Yeah. But hey, guys, see, today, you see, I don't talk too much. It's a feel-good day. I just don't, I want to encourage everyone out there. The flag bearer, for the youth has said he will go to court. Let us be quiet and let us watch God do what he wants to do. Protesting will not help. Nope. We've tried it in the past. People just died for nothing because we didn't see justice for them. So all of those things would not work. And besides, if you choose to protest, it will be hijacked again. Yeah. And it will further escalate the situation. Yeah. So I like the route that we're going. Nothing like, just go to the courts. Let's just trust God. At the end of the day, I like what Uti said. What Diola said about following those people. So all those your local government chairman, they shall not sleep. Yeah. Follow them, as in worry them, chase them. Yeah. Make sure you demand that they do their jobs. Yeah. Yep. Therefore, what Uti said about the end goal, it is good governance that we are looking for at the end of the day. So please, however that good governance will come, let us just focus on chasing these people to give us good governance. It's as simple as that. Yeah. Then let the Labour Party candidate go to court. Yep. Let us see how the judicial system would what's it called, follow this through. Because the truth is, everybody is speechless, right? I am speechless, everybody is speechless, but hey, we have to move on. There are some things that are within our control, and there are things that are not within our control. So let's just leave that. But thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you. Love and light.
On a lighter note, I've been seeing a lot of promos going on for Sanwo-Olu on social media. Yeah. If you feel that he's done a good job, don't use... if you feel he's done a good job, but if you feel you need something better, there are other options. Thank you, Alera. Thank you, Diola. And thank you, Uti Ele.
Thank you.
All right, so before we go, ensure you follow us across all our social media handles at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow our engagements on social media, like, share, and invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. Now, if you missed our quote for today, here it is again. Politics is too serious a matter to be left to politicians. So as Uti has said, it's not enough for you to get your PVC. Go and join political party. Start from today.
Yep. Join your community.
Guys, my darling. See you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen.